Grandmas. I am Mindy and I'm living intentionally. It's Sunday and it's Memorial Weekend, and yesterday my mom and I went out to my grandma's grave, and that was lovely. It was a lovely day. We saw mylar balloons being released, just glittering in the sky, and she told me things that I didn't know about my life and our family, and I know so much more today than I did when yesterday began. And some of it I don't need to know. I I'm fully aware that some people are evil, but it's just like, dude, I did not realize that. Boy, they sure are evil. But my mom's a drinker, and that is not a way to avoid low vibrations of resentment and anger and regret. So it was a very trying day. And I don't know if you know about me, but I abhor the use of alcohol in any form but tincture, medicinal. And even so, we plumbed some darkness, and that was good. That was real good. I got through the day just dancing through the flames. My moon is nigh, and now that used to mean that my diagnosed premenstrual dysphoric disorder threw my hormones into overdrive, and I was like a pregnant lady times 10, like actually losing my mind just because that thing happens once a month, every month of your life. And so for me, that manifests as is a lot of energy, sleeplessness, what would appear as mania, I suppose. But now that I live my chronic invisible illness, debilitating disability, chronic pain, chronic Lyme disease, endometriosis pain life, what that means is that before my moon, all of that overdrive that my body's been doing, it just allows me to feel like a real person. And so yesterday was my day before my night, and I walked and I talked and I met people. Well, I met someone who I'm very interested in knowing. And I imagine that I can learn a lot from her, and I imagine that I have a lot to teach her. And that's exciting. That's really exciting. But here's the thing that I did yesterday while I was out with my mom, is we needed to get food. And we had planned to get food at this place called Pure that's like super I can eat there. Like everything, it's not like, oh, I'll find something on the menu. It's like a vegan, gluten-free, organic, fresh like food restaurant. But then my mom didn't want to drive to that, and she really needed to eat. She hadn't eaten that day at all. And it was like 6 or 7. So I needed to eat too. But we ended up, her like favorite place to go drink wine was open. And like, I don't know if she just like subconsciously navigated herself to her drug, because like we were like, where are we going? We don't know where we're going. And then she was like, oh, I know what's right by here that we can go. And oh, but they probably won't be open. And I was like, well, you never know. So give them a call and find out if they're open. And so we did. And I don't know what risotto is. I don't like eat a lot of Italian food. I don't eat like a lot of conventional food. And I don't even know what risotto is, but I'm guessing that it had dairy in it because I'm feeling like I have a dairy reaction headache. And the reason that I'm here telling you that I chose the gluten-free item on the menu, one of 2 gluten-free items. The other one was very meat and tomato based, so it was not an option because I can't have nightshades either, and that's tomato, potato, paprika, jalapeno, bell peppers, all that good stuff. And the reason I'm telling you that I dosed myself with dairy is because I have a headache. And it was really weird. It was really weird because, like, I felt physically great yesterday. Physically, just, I'm not even sick. I'm not even a sick person. This is the first day of the rest of my life. I can walk out in the world. I can articulate my thoughts. I am not overwhelmed by my environment. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing. And, well, my mom had like 2 huge glasses of wine sitting at the bar. And so, like, I was, like, dealing with a very drunk, unstable person, which was not ideal. But she was just scarfing down food, and I just was like, okay, well, if you can't beat them, join them. And like I didn't want to eat what I was eating. Like, it didn't look good to me. Like, I didn't even know what risotto was. I don't even know what risotto is. But I didn't enjoy it. But I just felt like when in Rome, almost like to be in the presence of whatever is going on right now, as this woman just, I mean, people transform before my eyes, okay? Like, I don't like alcohol because when you drink alcohol, you become a monster. Like, your eyes are all frosted. You're all blind. And I mean, it was a lot of energy for me to be in. She was periodically, like, just howling like an animal, like so intensely regretful and sorrowful of the way that she didn't handle my father molesting me. And I mean, what can you do? Like, is she even going to remember that we had those conversations? Because alcohol. But, I don't know. I just, like, now I'm like, oh, was that participating in fear? Was I participating in fear? Like, how did I bring this on myself? As I bring everything upon myself, because I'm the creator of my reality. And here's what I'm kind of thinking. One of, like, the great big old nasty evils in the world is that we've been killing animals and using animals as slaves in order to dope our bodies up with chemicals that make it happy, dumb our minds down with chemicals that make us docile, and toxify our spirit by consuming and participating in a cycle of abuse, in a cycle of suffering, in a cycle of trauma. That goes beyond the animal kingdom and into the world of man, where man becomes monster, possessed, domestic violence. And so I'm thinking that as we are just on that evolution of human consciousness train, just barreling toward our destination at this point, there's a very hard and fast rule that you don't get to abuse yourself or anyone else and get to participate in the evolution of human consciousness. So I abused myself by eating the wrong thing, and the cycle of abuse as far as domestic violence goes ends with me. My grandma was abused by her husband. My mom grew up in an abusive household. So she didn't realize that she was raising her kids in an abusive household because it wasn't as knockdown, drag out as hers. So, perspective is everything. Perspective is everything. And for a time, I was a horrible bully myself. I was an evil, evil bitch. Evil, evil bitch. And I know how to not be an abuser, a bully, an evil bitch. Because I know how to be one. So you can't exactly just throw out everyone who's caught in the cycle of abuse, right? My mom, she doesn't have COVID-19. She's been tested for it because she has had trouble breathing and lung problems, and just, it's like she's had COVID-19. It's very much like she's had COVID-19, which is why she's been tested for it. And she's now using a steroid inhaler, and I've been there, man. I've been there. I can tell I've had dairy. I can feel it. Every bit of that dairy that I consume gets expelled from my body via my throat, lungs, and nose. That's where I feel it. Oh, and my nethers, too. They'll just ooze cheese. And not like a yeast infection or anything, but just like, wow, that's some mighty elastic discharge. That's some mighty elastic, perfectly clear, odorless discharge. That's weird. And I had to learn to stop eating dairy myself, and it was hard. It was hard because cheese is good. Cheese plugs into your brain. Cheese plugs into opioid receptors, because as animals, we need to be encouraged to survive by feeding at our mother's nipple. But beyond being a baby or a baby animal, absolutely no one, nothing, should be consuming dairy products. And it's a very bad thing. Now, I don't think I had much dairy, but I can still tell that, like, my lungs are not feeling that great. And, oh yeah, it comes out my eyes too when I have dairy, just like strings that are like this long. I pull threads of mucus out of my eyeballs. I can't consume dairy. I can't consume dairy. My body can no longer consume dairy. I think maybe at one point it could. You know, when I needed it to survive, when I was feeding on my mother's breast, and beyond then, it's done nothing but poison me all my life. And you know what? You grow up with drink all your milk, have your milk every day, and you eat cheese, and oh, well, if you don't want to eat anything, we can just put cheese on it, and that makes it, like, completely palatable. Don't like Brussels sprouts? How about Brussels sprouts with cheese? Broccoli with cheese? Like, this is so messed up, man. This is so messed up. And I feel for her. I do. It was not easy. We are a full decade in that I have been living with an uncomfortably restrictive diet. And you know what? I wouldn't be living with an uncomfortably restrictive diet if I wasn't dying. Unless I did it. Your body is rejecting you. Your body is rejecting society. It is rejecting history. This is a bullshit paradigm that we live in. It's designed to keep you suffering, to keep us suffering, to keep us low, to keep us hurting, to keep us trapped in the cycle of trauma and abuse as victims. Now, I have told my mother for years, she is of my genetic structure. I've been allergic to milk all my life, legitimately allergic to it. Not like lactose intolerant, allergic to milk. And I have endured that, okay? She needs to stop drinking milk. She doesn't have COVID-19. She can no longer tolerate dairy. Period. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. If I were there with her, I'd be knocking the dairy out of her hand. I'd be knocking the drink out of her hand. Shit, I don't stand for that shit. Addiction? Oh no. Oh no. And I understand it's hard. I had to quit everything. Hell, I can't even eat nightshades anymore. Oh my god, you guys. Did you know that bananas are a migraine triggering food? Bananas! Now I knew because who told me that? Was that Stephen Gundry? I think Stephen Gundry? I don't know if it's Stephen Gundry or Adam Bergstrom, but somebody said that you shouldn't be eating tropical fruit at all. And actually, you should only be eating fruit that grows where you're living and only when it's in season. And it's not good for your body to do otherwise. Well, all that shit that we've been getting away with, all that stuff that's been slipping through the cracks and sliding around as unintentional self-abuse, unintentional, accidental, gastrointestinal self-abuse. We ain't getting away with that no more. I haven't been getting away with it since 2005. But it's your turn now. So you can quit the shit, or you can jump ship. And a whole lot of people are going to die. And it's not sad at all. And I'm not sad or sorry at all. Those people don't need to be here. And maybe I don't know what reason they don't want to be here. They don't belong here. But if they did belong here, if they were here for the evolution of human consciousness, if they were serving the evolution of human consciousness and capable of containing the light that one must in order to participate in the evolution of human consciousness, they wouldn't have died from COVID-19. I got unpopular opinions. So yeah, dairy. I accidentally dosed myself with dairy. Maybe you can tell me what risotto is. Or maybe it's because I had shrimp, like it was a shrimp thing. But I got back to my house, my home, my flat. Got back to my flat. And all I did was pick up a relatively light bag of cat litter, like a newspaper pellet bag of cat litter, which those are pretty light. And it was just like, it was like somebody had just handed me a cartoon amble, and I just plummeted back into the vibration of pain and suffering, and just my head just sprang to pain, just immediately, just, oh my God. And so I dealt with that headache last night. That was after 7 that the headache came on when I lifted the bag of cat litter, and it was 10:30 when I fell asleep. I woke up at 6:34 after falling asleep on the sofa with Grim, because I'd been gone all day. He has separation anxiety. He loves me and he heals me. He must. That's what cats do. Cats are love. So I don't know what time it is now, but I couldn't get back to sleep because I could hear my ear pounding. And I've done this song and dance before. It starts out with your ear hurts, like really acutely, your ear hurts. My ear hurts. Acute pain. My ear hurts. But it moves. It moves, and it hurts in the neck, and it hurts in the jaw, and it hurts behind the eye, and it hurts in the nasal cavity. It's good when it hurts the nasal cavity. That means that it's almost run its course, and the dairy poison has almost moved through your system. Or the gluten poison. Those things cause inflammation. Y'all, we are dancing through the flames of hell. We cannot afford to be inflaming ourselves with food, drink, entertainment in the form of suspenseful movies and like garbage Hollywood. I mean, just like politics. Like, you cannot be inflaming yourself. It doesn't make sense. This is hell. We've done a bang-up job of creating hell. Well, we know how to do that now. We are real confident in our ability to make the world a horrible place, right? We are like 100% certain that we can do that. But it's time to try something new. We're going to make the world a wonderful place. So, I figured out this trick recently. I munch on carrots. I told my mom, stop eating cottage cheese every day and munch on carrots, and she said, I'm not going to eat that shit. She called baby carrots shit, so, I mean, my God, I don't know how to help this woman. But the carrots are cold, and I know that whatever I'm experiencing, whatever pain, it's inflammation, right? I know that. So I just started sticking those ice cold carrots in my ear. And I'd just like wear an ear carrot for a day, and it helped. But then, was that yesterday? Well, no, not yesterday. The day before. Friday. Friday, I had a headache. And I stuck my ear carrot in. But I did something different. I had a rather big ear carrot. Ear carrot. This is a thing. And I took its like blunt little thick end, and I just like started like moving it around, like not really in my ear, but like outside my ear. And what I discovered is that there is a point in here, and what I've got now, I don't know if you can obtain this because it's old and 100% pure has changed a lot, but this is a 100% pure pigmented fruit, it still smells amazing, lip balm, colored lip balm type of lipstick thing. It don't add much color to your lips whatsoever, but it's lovely, it smells lovely, and it's like 100% pure. But it's got a nice rounded tip. It's the size of my carrot. I was like, I know that I have something in my life that I haven't gotten rid of that's going to be my ear carrot. And it took me all of 30 seconds to find that thing when I decided to get out of bed and do that. So, I haven't looked at this freaking fruit pigmented. I don't wear lipstick. Are you kidding me? But there's a point in the ear, in the hard part of the ear, that I hit this with it hard. I mean, I was really digging, but it was like, oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, it felt like a trigger point. It felt like I hit a nerve, and the headache just was like, I'm done. I'm done. It's still here a little bit, and I've kind of been keeping it up. I've been doing it still, finding where it hurts, finding what point needs to be pressed on like a button to release that energy. I have no idea what physically could be going on that I consume gluten, dairy, eggs, bananas, that I get inflammatory headaches that move from my ear to behind my eye to my nasal cavity. I don't know what's going on there. I think medically there's something to discover if a doctor is, willing and capable of doing that. In my experience, they ain't light workers. Quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. So, I don't trust anybody who sells out for money. I don't trust anybody who's just like, well, I did the thing that I could make the most money. I did the thing so I could have the most money. I made the choices so my life could be the easiest. Fuck those people. And by and large, those people are doctors. But yeah, I don't know, I can't get it to hurt like it did when I first hit it. But I don't know how to describe to you, it's like I could hear the blood pounding in my head, and everything felt all fuzzy and even like my balance and my posture feels better. Like, this is something. I figured something out for me. And I have a human body, so maybe it can help you too. Baby carrots are a great snack. People make fun of me for eating like a rabbit. Rabbits don't have as restrictive diets as I do, I'm pretty sure. No, I don't know. Do rabbits eat tomatoes and potatoes? I don't know. I'm very allergic to rabbit. Rabbit hair, anything. The actual rabbit. Very allergic to rabbits. And I'm still allergic to cats. What is that? Is that a bug bite? Probably, because I was outside. Because that's not... I have food hives. I have hives that just like, that show up, and it's like, oh, what is that? Oh, that's where my food hive shows up. Like, what is that? What is that? My body is screaming at me. My body is screaming at me to do the right thing. And I know what the right thing is. So, you gotta bear with me if I'm losing patience with you. And we've walked the path for a while, but you're still eating shit. You're still eating shit. You're still eating shit. How do you know me? How do you have access to everything I've learned on my journey, which has been learning that food is medicine and using food not as fun, not as entertainment, but as medicine. And I eat delicious food. I do. I eat delicious food. My diet is very restrictive, and it takes a lot of self-control. It takes a lot of discipline and willpower. I think that my etheric body, in that it is not as separate from yours as either of us would like it to be, cannot handle what you're doing to your physical body. And in a very interesting aha moment, I was in my twin flame group. Gag me with a spoon, twin flame people. Most of them don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, but there's like 2 people who are woke. And someone floated the idea that what their twin flame eats affects the allergies to food that they have. Like, they haven't consumed the food. They don't even, like, live in the same state as their twin flame. But when their twin flame goes off of their diet, they're aware of it because they're suffering for choices their twin flame is making. And I could not figure out, dude. I was like, I'm eating rice. Like, I ate rice like 6 days a week. It was excellent. I had nutritional yeast. I had black pepper. I had garlic occasionally. I had coconut aminos. I had sea salt in it. I had greens. I was not eating anything. I hadn't even had bananas. And I was still getting these headaches. Like I was eating gluten and cheese. Like I was eating gluten and dairy. And I was just like, what the fuck, man? I'm trying, body, but I don't know what you want from me. I mean, if I just can't, if I can't eat this rice that I'm doctoring up with these things, these very simple, good for me things, kelp, like, I was feeling just really, really frustrated by denying myself all the delicious food and still suffering. And then that person said that, and I was like, oh, of course, of course, of course. Because when he gets high, I feel it. I know it. And when he gets drunk, I feel it. I know it. So why on earth did I not think, did it not occur to me that when he poisons his body with junk food, I suffer for it? This is the only time in our time together since I've connected with my twin flame that I've been on the wagon of good diet and taking care of my body, and he's been completely off that wagon. Every other time, we did it at the same time. Not even realizing it. We would talk after a couple days of not talking, and I would be like, I gotta confess to you, I had pizza on this day, and I'm miserable for it. And I'll be damned if he doesn't go, every time, man, just, yeah, I had pizza then too. Oh, we just think alike. We even eat alike, you know? And it's like, so I didn't make the connection, because he and I were both making choices. We were both giving in to an addiction that our body has, because it's been conditioned to have that addiction. So, food can be made with love, but food is not love. Love is love. Food is medicine. You know the thing about cats? The thing about cats is that cats are so drawn to things that poison them. All kinds of things that poison them. Cats really want to eat poison. It's a pretty unusual thing. Cats don't tolerate milk. They certainly shouldn't be licking cleaning supplies. And there's a whole lot of things that cats can't have. Like, I think onions will kill cats. I mean, I'll tell you, when my former roommate, who I no longer know at all, who abused me, when he was falling asleep with his plate of food in his lap and allowing my cats to eat human food, he acted like I was blowing things out of proportion and looking for something to start a fight about because I'm just such a bitch and I just want to bitch about something. But the very real fact of the matter is that if he wasn't consciously avoiding falling asleep with a plate of food in his lap, in his chair in the living room where my cat can get to it, I mean, it's easy. The kitchen was 6 feet away. It was not hard. Shouldn't have been happening, right? But he wasn't consciously protecting my cats. So he was subconsciously killing my cats. And, it doesn't take much to poison cats. So learn from cats and stop poisoning yourselves. And don't give cats milk. That is just such a terrible thing that has been injected into society. Yeah, they love it. They love it. I'm pretty sure I love heroin too. You shouldn't have me fucking hooked up with heroin. Come on. Yeah, dairy has opiates in it, and it's highly addictive. So I understand that it's an addiction that you don't know you have, and maybe you have other addictions. But where we're going, there's no room for addiction. So you need to get right. Right now. Starting right now. Today. No dairy. No dairy. You can breathe or you can eat dairy. Real simple. Real fucking simple. Now, you can breathe or you can eat dairy.